You've stepped into the Jared Briggs Show. What is up, everybody? This is this week's live stream on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok right at the moment. And today we are going to talk about money. We're going to talk about money and how we can use money as a tool and as a resource to live our lives. You guys, money isn't anything other than a tool and a resource. You can't take it with you. You can't all of the stigmas out there. I don't even know all of them because there's so many. Everybody's money doesn't grow on trees and money's the root of all evil and money, 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 money. You guys, at the end of the day, we've put that perception on money 100%. So we're going to talk about those things in today's live stream. Just so if you want to listen to this full thing, maybe you joined later or you can't catch the full thing, I post this to my podcast channel every single week on Friday at 4 a.m. Mountain Time. And I've been doing it. This is week 3 that I've been able to do this. So you can go listen to the past week's episodes of the live stream where we talk about start living your life. That's the whole purpose of all this, is start living your life. And the reason why I want to talk about money is because money is a tool and a resource, like I said right at the beginning, and it can help you live your life. If you learn what money is, how money works, and what to do with money, and it doesn't even matter how much money you make, because it is so much more important of how you manage your money, how you're telling your money what to do. That is so much more important than the amount of money you are collecting every single month. You can make $100,000 a month and still be completely broke. You can make $100,000 a year and be super wealthy. It is 100% up to you. So we're going to talk about those things. So go listen to this, go share it. Oh, let's get better here. Okay, right at the start of where I wrote some things down. Make sure I stay on track because I can get off track pretty quick, ladies and gentlemen. The most important thing that I've found with money is you got to know your money. And what I mean by know your money is you need to know your expenses and you need to know your income. It is amazing how many times I visit with people. I'm like, well, how much are you making every month? And they're like, oh, and they say a number. And I'm like, is it that or is it not? And they're like, well, I don't know. It depends. And I get it if you're paid hourly and overtime and all that. But if you pay attention, you should have a very good idea, even if you have overtime or took a few days off or whatever, you should have a very good idea without even thinking about it of where you're going to be at every single month, unless your income is just completely crazy and off the wall. But you should know what your income is. You should have a really good idea of what your income is going to be. Because if you don't know, how the heck are you going to plan for the current month you're in, the month coming, the quarter, the next year? Every year after that, like how are you going to really plan if you don't know how much money you're bringing in and collecting? I really try to use the verbiage collecting because we can't make money. Because if you had a little room in your house where you had a money printing machine, you'd go to prison. You can't make money. But what we can do is we can collect it. We can do positive things to collect and bring more money into our life. So I really try to focus on that. That's just a mindset thing right there. So know your money. You can even break it down into knowing things even more specific. What are your fixed expenses and what are your variable expenses? Fixed expenses are the ones that are the same every single month. Phone bill, probably the same. House payment, car payments, mortgages, rent, anything you have that's, let's say you have a storage unit and it's $75 a month. Like anything like that's a fixed expense. It's the exact same every single month and doesn't change. It can change if taxes go up or whatever that is, but it's going to stay very consistent. Your variable expenses are the things that change, like power bill, water bill. Those you get into a range of where those stay the same. Groceries, fuel, gas, expenses, running your life, all those are variable expenses. And those can be hard to plan for. I'm going to be 100% honest, you guys. I'm not going to sit here and say it's easy to create a financial plan. I call it a wealth creation plan. I do not believe in budgets. Budgets are limiting. If you have a budget, it's telling you what you can do. I want to tell my money what to do. I'm like, this is what I want to accomplish. So I call it a wealth creation plan. It can be challenging. It's not the easiest thing in the world, especially those variable expenses, especially how they're always going up, going down, new ones coming in. There's just so many variables to keep track of. But if you do track your fixed and variable expenses, even with the changing, within 6 months, if you guys got very serious, within 6 months, you would have a very good idea of what your fixed and variable expenses are, what it takes to run your life, what it takes to accomplish the goals and the dreams and the things that you're working on. You're gonna have a really good idea of, typically we spend this much on groceries. Typically our power bill's this. Typically our water bill's this. Typically this. Like, you're gonna know exactly where you're at. You're gonna be like, oh, we make this much and we spend this much. That's just a fact of knowing what is going on. Okay. If you sit down and you plan and you prepare, I use an Excel sheet. You guys, I don't use any of these apps. I don't use any of these services and different things that come up. I think that's ridiculous. If you want to know the truth, all these new apps coming out, that's, oh, pay us and we'll tell you what subscriptions you have. What the heck is up with that? If you need an app to tell you your subscriptions, that you've got a major problem. Creating financial success is going to be damn near impossible if you need an app to tell you what subscriptions you have and that you forgot about. You're like, oh man, I forgot I was paying for that. You've been paying for it for years. That's ridiculous. It is going to be really hard to create financial success if you have zero clue what's going on with your money. Okay, so you need to know your money. You need to create a wealth creation plan. What is it that you want to accomplish? And where is it that you are exactly right now, dollar for dollar? Everything needs to be told what to do. And that's a big secret right there. Know your money. When you get paid, every dollar should be told what to do. My wife and I use credit cards. We only use credit cards. I do not have a debit card. We can't use debit cards. I hate debit cards. They're illegal in my house. I hate those stupid things. Credit card for everything. The credit card, we buy everything on the credit card for gas and groceries and everything. We pay it off every single month. And so we know what our operating is and we have to pay it off. That's the thing I hate about a debit card is you can just go swipe and it comes out and you swipe and it comes out and you swipe and it comes out. And then at the end of the month, you're like, oh, cool. Next month we got paid and carry on. You never, every month when I sit down to go through my expenses and I look at it, I'm like, oh, we spent that much on the credit card. Okay, what did we spend it on? And I go through and track it and look at the subscriptions and keep track of stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot we bought tires or we did this or da da da. Yeah, that's why it's higher than normal. Okay, that's what I love about a credit card is a credit card makes you pay attention. At the same time, is it protects you way better than a debit card, and you get a ton of free stuff. Yes, my wife and I get thousands of dollars of free stuff every single year. Gift cards, cash, trips, flights, all that. Every single year because we're using a card that gives us that kind of stuff. No different than a debit card. So that's a stigma that I really wish would change in America is there's this huge stigma that credit cards are bad. Yes, credit cards are bad if you don't know how to use them. And if you're completely irresponsible with your money, then credit cards are bad and can get you in a lot of trouble. But if you are a responsible person and you learn how to use a credit card and leverage a credit card, it is one of the coolest financial tools you can use on a day-to-day basis, let alone the credit building capabilities to be able to go buy a house or vehicles or leverage things to grow your life. A credit card is the fastest and most powerful tool to really build all of those things. But that all comes down to know your money, know what works for you, know what doesn't work for you. Okay. So that topic right at the start of know your money, guys, it's so important. You need to really dive deep into this. Okay. Create a plan. Now, what I mean by create a plan is I want to talk to the people that have bigger goals and dreams than you're currently achieving at this moment. Let's say you want to start a business or you want to make an investment or you want to buy a rental property or do any of those things. It's going to take money. Now, everybody says, oh, it takes money to make money. Not necessarily. Go listen to a later podcast where I talk about it takes courage. But one thing is money is a tool and a resource to make things easier. You could have $1 billion sitting in your bank account. And if you don't know what to do with it, you're going to get zero value from that $1 billion sitting in your bank account. So this whole concept of, oh, it takes money to make money. I get the concept and I get the philosophy behind it, but you could give 100 people on the street just randomly money, and maybe one of them is going to actually turn it into something because they know what to do with it. And I don't know the statistic, but just because you have money doesn't mean you're going to make money. It takes so much more of knowing what to do with it is the most important part. What the heck? Oh, we're still good. My computer screen just went black. Just boom. Okay. Okay. So create a plan. I look back at when my wife and I first got married and started my business. I'm like, hey, what helped us? One thing that I really think helps people become successful financially is even if you don't have a purpose in the moment, you're saving money. Now, I gotta be careful with saving money because everybody's like, save money for a rainy day and save and save. You guys, saving actually is a stupid idea if you have nothing to do with it. The only reason for saving, let's say you have a specific savings account in your bank account, you have your checking and your savings and your credit card and all those, right? And you have a specific like money market savings account. The only reason why you should save into there is to compile money. Be like, oh, I want to go accomplish this, and it's going to take $10,000. I'm gonna put 500 a month in here until it gets to 10,000, and then I'm gonna go execute this thing. But if you're just saving to save, you are missing out because the rate at which you are saving, inflation is far greater. Inflation of the cost of houses, the cost of education, the cost of groceries, the cost of living, period. Inflation is way outweighing what you are saving. You can never try it. Go ask people. You will never save yourself to wealth. You will never save yourself to financial abundance or success or financial retirement or whatever your goal is. Like I see so many people that are like, oh yeah, I'm in the industry of helping people in retirement. So I see this all the time. They're like, I saved this much every single year and it's not near enough. And I'm like, yeah, because saving, like you've got to find something that's going to give you a massive return on your money. And so reason why I say create a plan is because I want to speak to those people that have bigger goals and dreams, that want to accomplish something and want to achieve something. Saving, even if you don't know what it is yet, you need to be saving. You need to be putting 10% of your income, 500 bucks a month, 50 bucks a month, 100 bucks a month, anything you can do to start compiling money towards the purpose of what it is that you want. I remember when my wife and I were first married and we first started saving money and planning, and we had some goals and things that we wanted to work towards. And I started the first time I ever saved money, you guys, it was $5. I transferred $5 into a savings account. And I'm like, frick, this is going to take forever. It's never going to turn into anything. But I kept challenging myself. I'm going to do it again the next month. I'm going to do it again the next month. I'm going to do it again the next month. And I had this whole financial plan that I followed. I knew exactly what my expenses were, what we were spending money on, and I paid myself first. Okay. That was the whole concept that my wife and I, there's a really good book called The Richest Man in Babylon. You need to go read this book if you want to create financial success. And it's this whole concept of pay yourself first and then take that money and go create more money with it. And so I started doing that with $5 a month. And then I was just like, hey, I know my money. I know my everything going on. I'm going to spend zero attention on saving my money and cutting expenses. Everybody's, oh, what could we cut? Should we shut the TV off? Or should we do this? Yeah, be smart. Don't spend money on stupid things. But at the end of the day, you can only cut so many things out of your life. It's just fact, you guys. Like you got to eat, you got to have a place to live, you got to have all these things. You can only cut so much. And so I learned this concept where it's instead of spending time, effort, energy on saving and worrying and stressing about that, I'm going to take that energy and I'm going to focus on creating more income and growing my income. And so that's what I focused on. So every time we would increase our income, I would increase the amount of money that I would put into there. And my goal was to get to where we could do 10% of our income. And I got to 10%. And I'm like, could I get to 15? And then we got 15. And I was like, could we get to 20? And I kept challenging myself. And we got to the point before we bought a house and all these other things that we were working towards, that at the highest point, we were putting 33% of our income. That was the highest point I got to, was 33% of what my wife was making and what I was making. We were stashing away for the purpose of our plan we had created to build a house and to grow my business and do some other things. That was what it was for. And so that challenge of pay yourself first, quit focusing on saving and cutting things, and focus on increasing your income and then using your plan to save and invest as much money as you can. And at that moment, you guys, it was only saving. We had our money market account and our banking account, and I would just stash everything I could into there. and it just grew and grew and grew. That is the only reason why we have a house today that we built and some of the other goals that we accomplished. So saving for the purpose of investing is the goal, is the plan. And I see so many people that they come across an opportunity where they're like, oh man, I wish I had the money to do this business venture or this investment. What have you been doing for the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years? These people that I talk with and that I've had these conversations with that I can think of in my mind right now, I'm like, you've been working for a long time. Like, why weren't you stashing 100, 200, 300 bucks a month or whatever you could and building up as big of a bank account as you can with the focus of, I want to start a business or I want to make an investment. I want to learn crypto investing. I want to buy a rental property, real estate rental property, whatever your goal is. Maybe you're looking at it like, how do I achieve this year? Quit worrying about that crap. Just start saving and investing. Create a savings account and label it for that purpose. Every bank now allows you to change the name of what that savings account or any of those are. Label it in that name. And it is not an emergency fund. It is not a, hey, I'm going to go on vacation or, oh, I want to eat out tonight, but I'm out of money and I'm going to pull it out of there. You have to be disciplined. That account is for that purpose only. And if you come across an opportunity, I even did this. There was multiple times where I'm like, hey, we're saving for these things. I'm having a hard time growing my income or growing my business. I'm like, I need to invest into some education. I need to hire some coaches or courses or learning or go to some events. And so I talked with my wife. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to pull some money out of there. I'm going to go invest into myself so that I can grow my income, that I can grow my knowledge. I can grow all that. That's a great investment. That's an incredible investment, is to take money and build more of you. That should be your first and number one investment, is to invest in yourself and to grow yourself and to develop yourself. But you need to create that plan. You need to sit down and understand what is it that you want to achieve, what it is that you want to work on, and then go through, create your wealth creation plan along with your business, whatever type of venture plan that you have, and then start saving towards that. And don't get overwhelmed with what's only 20 bucks. Great. If you only have 20 bucks to save into that account, put the 20 there. And then the next month and the next month, and keep challenging yourself and asking yourself, how could I invest more? How could I invest more? How could I invest more? And just get very disciplined with that. Because then 5 years down the road, 1 year down the road, 6 months down the road, whatever, something's going to come knocking. You're going to come across an opportunity. You're going to see something. You're like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been wanting to do. It costs $4,000. I've got 4,800 in my account. I can freaking do it. That is the thing that just blows my mind with so many people, is they don't have anything planned or prepared or ready for that. What are you working towards? You need to know what you're working towards and get disciplined and create that plan. And let's go into number 3, because this is going to go right with this very well. Every time you spend money, you are investing. And what I mean by investing is you need to expect a return. I had it explained to me. You guys, I'm just sharing things that I've learned. Okay. I had somebody explain this to me, that every time you pull up to the gas pump and you think, oh my gosh, I got to buy gas. Like, that's a negative, right? You're like, oh, I'm spending money. I'm losing money. I'm spending it on this gas. What if you changed your mindset and flipped it to where you're like, hey, I'm buying this gas, but I'm making an investment. I'm investing in my opportunity to be able to travel quicker, to be able to get from point A to point B a lot quicker than if I was riding a bike or if I was walking. You're investing into your capabilities. You're investing into your opportunity. Think about next time you go to pay your power bill. And let's say it's $110. And you're like, oh man, I got to pay this dang power bill. I want you to think about the infrastructure that's been put together to get that power to you. Do you think you could go set up a dam in a reservoir, a river, or windmills, or solar panels, or any way that we create power in today's world, and set that up and then run the wire to your house, the pools, the underground, the everything? Do you think you could accomplish that for $110 a month? Not even close. Like, you could spend 110 a month for the rest of your life, your kids' life, your grandkids, your great grandkids, and it would still never pay for all that infrastructure and the concrete and the equipment and the tools and the resources, right? So think of how cool it is that you are able to pay $110 for that power when it's billions and billions of dollars in infrastructure to get it there. Think about water, think about sewer, think about garbage, think about buying your house, think about the insurance, think about taxes, think about all of those things that we're spending money on. Another thing, you guys like orange juice, or do you like oranges, or anything that you like for breakfast? Think of orange juice. I live in Utah. We don't grow a lot of oranges in Utah, ladies and gentlemen. I like orange juice. I like apple juice too. But our growing season in Utah is pretty small. Every time we buy orange juice, what does it say on it? Most of the time it says grown in Florida, produced in Florida, all that. I don't think for $3 for the jug of orange juice, I don't think I could travel to Florida, get the oranges, process them, and then squeeze them into my glass and drink it for breakfast. Okay. Do you see where you need to make a mindset shift on I'm not spending money. I'm investing in my opportunities. I'm investing in my experiences. I'm investing in the readiness, like how easy it is. I was trying to think of another word. It's not hitting me right now. But like how cool is that you can invest into those things and have them super quick. Okay. So every time you spend money, have a moment of gratitude. Sit there and think, oh, I'm so grateful. I get the opportunity to pay my power bill and for all the billions and trillions of dollars in infrastructure that's been put together for me to be able to flip a light switch and I have power. We have family members down the line, maybe great grandparents or whatever. They didn't even know what power was. They were on candles and fire and all that. So think about it. We get to spend a little bit of money and enjoy power and watch TV and do all the other things that we do with electricity. Same with water, same with our houses, same with everything else. I look back and I'm like, oh man, I would hate to have to ride a bike or a horse or something to work every day. I travel like 35 miles one way. I would have to have a complete different career because I wouldn't be able to travel where I do every day if I had to ride a horse. It'd be too long. It'd take too long. But I get to invest into my vehicle. I get to invest into the oil changes and the tires. I get to invest into the gas and the maintenance and the taxes and all those things. I get to invest into those things to create more abundance in my life. And so that was a huge mindset shift for me. And that really helped me expand and grow even more because I'm like, oh, I used to get so stressed and worried about spending. Oh my gosh, I got to spend this and I got to do this and I got to do this. And now I'm like, oh, I get to invest into these opportunities. At the same time, you guys, there is no limitation. There is zero limitation when it comes to money. I want you to just sit and think right now in this moment. If you looked around, I'm looking at the building. I got a window right here. I can see a vehicle that just drove past and all the infrastructure there. You guys, I have millions and millions and millions of dollars of construction and work and labor right here, right all around me. Think about Venmo and Cash App and PayPal and all these different things. And then bank wire transfers. There's billions and trillions of dollars in transaction in this very moment. There is there's no limitation. You guys, there is so much money. I heard a statistic that the amount of money that's in America, if it was to be divided across every US citizen, everybody would have $1 billion. $1 billion. That's how much money there is in just America, let alone all the other countries and everything that we have going on as well. So think about that for a second. Like, there's no lack. We're not struggling. We're not stressing. I got to get better. I need to change my mindset. I'm going to make a relation back to money that also helped me. I want you to think of a river. And that river, let's say it was a pretty good sized river, like you could fish on it and all that. And you took a dam and dammed it up. And then you dammed the front side and the back side. So now you've just got this pond just sitting there. No water coming in, no water coming out. What would happen to that water? It would turn green, then black and disgusting. All the bacteria and everything in it would just take over. I want you to think of a lake, a reservoir, a stream, a river, all of those that you see every day today. Even big, huge reservoirs. There's water coming in and there's water going out. Think of rivers. A lot of rivers, you still worry about it, but a lot of rivers, you can scoop water out of it and drink it. Now, you have a chance of giardia, so we filter it and take care of stuff. but that water is moving and it's being filtered and through the rocks and everything that's going on. It's so much cleaner. Money's the same way. Money is energy, just like everything else. Just like everything else. It's 100% energy. So if water to be healthy and to be strong and to be clear and pure, it needs to be in flow. It needs to be running down the river. It needs to go in the lake and out the lake. It needs to have that flow. Money's the same way. If we just save our money all the time into a savings account or whatever it be, and it just sits there and does nothing, it's doing nothing. There's no benefit of it. But if we take our money and we have a good, strong, healthy relationship with money, and we have a good flow coming in, and we have a good flow of investment going out, it's going to be strong and healthy. I will create that good energy within inside of us where I always attract money. I'm the type of person that attracts money into my life, and I want good money. I want good experiences. I want good opportunities. I want to use money for good. I want to use it to benefit my life and create positive experiences and good experiences and to travel the world and to take care of other people. I, I've I love the opportunity to serve other people. It is a great flow of money going out. And I truly believe in the statement, if you want more, give more. And so I've created a plan in my financial system where I set a specific number aside every single month. And it's sitting there for the purpose of helping people. And I'm constantly looking for an opportunity to serve somebody. Maybe they need some gas. Maybe they need some groceries. Maybe somebody's having a hard time and you can send them $100. That is a great flow of money. I also have a good belief in tithing. Whether you go to church or whether you don't go in church, I believe in the purpose of tithing because it is a good flow of money going out. And I want more. I want to accomplish more. I want to achieve more. I don't want just to make more money. And I don't believe by you giving $100 is going to get you $100. Maybe giving that $100 is going to give you an incredible experience down the road or an opportunity or a friendship or a relationship. Okay. So I believe all monetary transactions aren't going to come back as 100% monetary transactions. But I believe in the concept of if you want more, give more. And so that is one area that I look at tithing. I'm like, you know what? That is a great place to give. I can give, I can tithe and put more money out there, more energy, more flow, more goodness, more expansion, more abundance, more of all of it. And I have an expectation inside of myself that if I do good, I'm going to attract good into my life, even if it isn't monetary. Even if it isn't monetary. I had an experience this last weekend that I can't explain. I really can't. I can't explain. It should have been a lot worse. It was involving power and equipment. And I'm not going to tell the whole story here, but you guys, it should have been a lot worse. And I just can't explain how it didn't turn out worse. And I know God had his fingers in that. And I look back at that and I'm like, there was an investment made somewhere that I made in my life, or maybe my wife made it. It was probably on her end. There was an investment within my family that was made in some form or fashion, and it was paid back in dividends in that moment where it should have been a lot worse than it turned out. Now, great lessons were learned. Many lessons were learned in that experience. But I look at all of those things. I look at the goodness that this world has to offer. I look at everything that's going on. And it's like, you know what? If you want more, give more. If you want more goodness in your life, give more good. If you want more positivity in your life, go be positive. If you want more happiness in your life, go be happy. Go be happy around other people. Go laugh and smile and lift them up. Everything has a cause and effect. And you get to decide, you get to dictate, you get to make that decision for yourself. Am I going to be on the good side or am I going to be on the bad side? You guys, bad news sells. Are you going to focus on that? Are you going to focus on, oh, the economy's bad and we're dealing with all this political stuff and all this tariffs and fight with other countries and interest rates are high and it's just all excuses. It is 100% excuses and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what's going on. You can find the good in everything. You can find success in everything. You can find growth in everything. It's all up to you. You get to make that decision for you. And so that's where I look at the opportunity. Every time I'm making any type of a transaction, it's an investment. I'm making an investment. I'm making an investment in a relationship. I'm making a monetary investment. I'm making a spiritual investment. I'm making some type of an investment. And I expect a return. I expect it good. I don't find anything wrong with that. Now there are opportunities. I've learned this on the side of family or close friends or anything. If I ever give somebody money or do something, I'm like, I'm giving it because I want to give and I don't expect anything in return. Because I don't want those hard feelings. I don't want those hard, hey, you haven't paid me back for 6 months or a year. I just don't want that. So I want to find those opportunities where I can give. And by doing that, I'm like, I'm going to get some good things in my life. I'm going to expect good things. Where good things are given, good things are received. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I really don't. I don't think there's anything wrong with you having an expectation of good things coming into your life. Because guess what? You can do anything you put your mind to. And anything you put out in the universe in the form of energy, everything comes back to energy. Everything is energy. Money is energy. You guys, the only reason why a $100 bill is a $100 bill is because you and I agree it's a $100 bill. It's not backed by gold anymore. It has zero backing. It is literally a piece of paper that's stamped United States of America. Other than that, it's a piece of paper. It has zero monetary value. The only reason why it does is because you and I agree that it does. So it's energy. It literally just goes back to energy. So if I have good energy and I put out good energy and I expect good energy, I'm going to receive good energy. I want to collect X amount of dollars every single year. Great. I'm going to put good energy out and put myself in opportunities and positions to be of value and of service to attract and collect that back into my life. If you want more, do more. If you want to achieve more, go create more value. If you want to make more money, go solve a problem and create value and be of service in some form or fashion. And the sky's the limit. The sky's not even, it's the universe. There is no cap. Every person should have around $1 billion in America. So what are we doing? There's zero limitation or lack. There's only opportunity. Okay? You guys, these are my things that I want to share with you. You know your money, your expenses, your income, everything about your money, your goals, your dreams, your passions, all of that. And then create your plan. And within that knowing, create the plan and then start putting purpose to every time you save, invest, spend, do anything with your money. It has a purpose and create that purpose. And if you have a goal, as an example, to start a business and you have no clue what that is, great, start saving money now. I just had a relationship with somebody a little while ago. They started a business and they're out of money. And I'm like, what? Did you not have anything saved up? Like you should have been prepping. If that's been your goal for years and years now, you should have been prepping for that. You should have been saving and investing everything you could towards that purpose, goal, and dream. Okay. And then every time you spend, you are investing. You're not spending. You're not losing. You're not limiting. You're not removing from your life. You're investing. And that investment's going to create a return in your life. And it's going to create a good flow. You're going to have a good flow going out. And that will create a good flow coming in. All right. So there is what I wanted to share with you guys today. Start living your life. This is all in the concept of start living your life. These things that I wrote down that we just discussed is all for the purpose to help you start living your life, to define your goals and your dreams, and to get clear with those things, and then to create a plan to accomplish and achieve them. Money is a tool and a resource, and it's an incredible tool and a resource when used properly can help you leverage into your goals and dreams so much quicker and so much faster and so much more beneficial. Use it as a tool and a resource. Invest into that tool and resource. Invest into you and grow you. Okay. And as always, be the master of your life. You guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you get value from this, please let me know. It's been really good. I've been watching the downloads and the views on this, and it's been really good. So I appreciate you guys tuning into this. If there's anything that I can help you with, let me know. As always, I love that kind of stuff. The goal here is to just add value to your guys' life and to help you achieve your goals and your dreams. So go be the master of your life. Have a great day.